What is something insignificant that you passionately hate? That shark fin shaped spot on my windshield that my wipers can't reach. You should invent a horizontal wiper that goes back and forth on a track. I was thinking about ones that would move in an elliptical motion rather than the radial arc. When the audio and the video don't sync up by more than half a second. Edit, didn't expect this to blow up as much as it did. Even a tenth of a second. Really? It only takes a tiny discrepancy for the brain to freak out that something's not right. Putting on the brights to compensate for a dead headlight. Or people who just use the brights all the time and are inconsiderate of other drivers. Oh. And those newer headlights that are blue tinted, don't know what they are called, and are stupid bright. I have chronic migraines and that shit gives me one every damn time. I'm not 100% sure, but those might be called xenon headlights. In these unprecedented times, now more than ever, we would like to tell you that we care. Leaving the dish scrubber in the sink with the dirty dishes. I don't want to reach my hand into the mucky water to find the thing. FFS. And if it's totally gross, I have to clean it off so I can use it to scrub the dishes. Come on. There is also a special place in hell for my ducking groomer who puts sharp knives in soapy or dirty water so I can't ducking see them. Your roommates are not only putting life at risk, but ruining the knives. When you are gonna walk through a door and your shirt or backpack, etc. gets stuck on the handle. Or when the earphones cord gets caught as you're walking by and they get violently yanked out. Fills me with irrational rage every single time. This one is theorized to be a survival mechanism rather than something truly irrational. You aren't thinking about your head/ears, and then suddenly there's a large and unexpected sensation concerning your ears. Across millions of years of evolution, such a sensation is usually some form of threat, another animal attacking you, something hitting your head, etc. Your brain doesn't know what it is and wasn't expecting it. All it knows is you are probably already under attack. So the safest course of action is to prime you for a fight, since you might already be in one without realizing it, by kicking in the adrenaline and the rage. People who try to get on the elevator before letting people off, or onto the bus before letting people off, or the train. When the microwave keeps beeping, even after you've opened the door to get your food out, like I know it's done. That's why I'm opening it. You don't need to keep screaming at me, thanks. Best thing I ever googled is the mute combo for my microwave. Most microwaves have a hidden function, like hold down button 2 to turn off the beep notification. Saved my sanity and hearing. Eater, thanks all. Glad this turned out to be helpful. And really sorry about the full soap for those of you who went on to discover your microwave lacks this function. I need to look this up for my mom's microwave. It gives 4 very loud, shrill beeps when it's done. And if you don't get the food out within a minute, it does it again. If you hit the cancel button, it beeps 4 times quickly, as though it just has to get in those beeps. I hate that microwave. People that pull out in front of you when no one is driving behind you, and then drive 20 miles an hour. Fundamentally I don't mind people pulling out in front like this, but if you do, the king in it. The rule I was taught was that if the person you pulled out in front of has to slow down, you should have waited or accelerated faster, though this is my own addition. Video game ads that don't show actual gameplay footage, or the ones that show what looks like a fun game, but is actually just another Candy Crush. I'm looking at you. Homescapes. That's so many mobile game ads. It feels like there are 3 types of mobile games. Shitty Match 3, Shitty Kingdom Builder, and Shitty MMORPG. People that walk through busy pedestrian areas with zero self-awareness. You know, the ones almost bumping into you as they are glued to their phones. Stopping suddenly in front of you to gaze in a window. 4 people walking spread out and making others step into the street. The list goes on. Or stopping to do their stuff right in middle of the doorway. Last week the lady in front of me at the doctor's office stopped to dig in her purse directly in front of the open elevator doors. JFC. People when there's a clear lineup at a gas station till bust out a massive wad of lottery tickets, and then you spend 10 minutes listening to wahoo, or not a winner, when you just want to get to work. I agree. But also, If they win they spend ages picking out new tickets to buy. On a related note, I hate when people park at the pump and are not getting gas. Yep. I used to work at a gas station and I can honestly say I have wished scratch-off buyers would contract an horrendous disease that rots their crotch. That's just how annoying people like that are. And they always do it when you are slammed and the line is really long. People who are making a phone call while simultaneously making a transaction with a live human being in front of them. Yeah, I'm here for my meds. Hold on 1 second. I know. Jake. Isn't that crazy? I thought the same thing. My birth cert? Okay. Just get off the damn phone. So rude. I went to pick up my meds one day and the lady in front of me was on her phone and the poor pharmacist couldn't get a word out to her. Before the lady left, the pharmacist let her have it and told her she's not even supposed to help her if she's on her phone and she can't effectively do her job if the woman isn't answering her questions. I loved seeing the pharmacist get harsh with the lady. She needed a big ol' wake up call. It is rude for customers to speak on the phone while interacting with anyone in person. But when a pharmacist is trying to instruct you on your medication, it is rude and stupid. Those beauty kiosks at the mall that try to hand out crappy samples then chase you down when you don't take one. My worst encounter was when I was in the mall after a retail manager meeting. They'd already tried to stop me. I said no. Then when I passed them again with my boss, they yelled, "Oh, I see you brought your girlfriend back this time." Awkward as hell. People who stand in a 30-minute line but wait until they get to the register to look at the menu. Mine is kind of like this. Why doesn't a drive-thru have 2 menus? I hate how I'm waiting behind another car for 5 minutes and can't see the menu. Then when I pull up and can finally see the menu they ask me what I want right away. The local Jack in the Box has a double menu set up in the drive-thru. The first menu is exactly 1 car length in front of the actual ordering menu. It's lovely. Leaving shopping carts randomly in the parking lot. You'll probably enjoy the channel Cart Narcs on YouTube then. It's a dude who just confronts people too lazy to put their cart away. Lousy bones. The phrase "well touch base." It absolutely grates on me. I have no reason to hate it. I just do. You seem pretty upset about that. Let's circle back to it later and well touch base on your opinions more. Make sure we can leverage what we've already discussed in this meeting. The sound of windshield wipers squeaking or skipping on the glass. And when the wiper gets to a point in its life when it works perfectly on the upstroke, but then fucks it all up into a smeared mess on the downstroke. Ick, now that little bit of soda at the bottom of the can that you can never reach. Edit. This is my absolute greatest pet peeve. Thank you for everyone who agrees with me. But if something knocks over the can it will magically be able to spill out. Yet when I snap my spine into 20 different pieces bending over backwards for that little sip it won't even go near the exit of the can. Commercials that have the food cannibalize each other. Just why? The cinnamon toast crunch ads are certainly strange. I have an aunt who turns on her cell phone when she needs to call someone. When she is done she turns it off. No one can ever reach her. So at the end we always call her husband. It's for my convenience, not yours. Does she say this? She never stated that, but I would say that's spot on. She always thinks she is above everyone. Edit. Grammar. People who watch TV or movies on their phone without headphones in the break room. Edit. Thanks for the awards. I've been through it at, albeit not super pricey, seated restaurant, where the table to my immediate left and right are playing videos on their phones full volume. One was the raucous laugh track after every literal sentence insanity of Two and a Half Men. The other was a revolving set of internet fail clips. Completely ruined my meal, and because no one else seemed bothered I endured it in silence. We've asked to move in a restaurant before. Someone was letting a full volume tablet babysit their kid at a table adjacent. The staff seemed a little put out, until we said we'd be happy if they asked the other table to turn the tablet down. They moved us happily and quickly instead. Edit. Since I've upset a lot of parents, I want to reiterate that it was a tablet at maximum volume in an upscale restaurant where we paid $50 a head for a romantic date night. We were never rude, never called out the parents, just asked to be distanced. We could still hear it clear across the restaurant, but it was less intense. Other patrons asked to move after us. We thanked our server and tipped extra. People who talk on speakerphone or listen to music/videos without headphones in public. Literally no one else wants to be subjected to your noise pollution. Stop it. Pretty sure this was the one of the lost commandments. Thou shalt duck off with that bullshit. Something like that. It's number 11. Moses had that shit written down. True story. My wife leaving the microwave on a random number instead of zeroing it out so the time displays. I don't know why it bothers me so much, but it does. My husband does this too. I hate looking up for the time and seeing 0021 instead. I also keep a plastic cover in the microwave. You're supposed to place it over the bowl or plate you're microwaving to prevent food splatter. Husband doesn't use it, which is fine. But he takes it out of the microwave, heats up his food, takes the food out, and leaves the plastic cover on the stovetop instead of putting it back in the microwave. Drives me batshit, and I've asked him countless times to please put it back, but he doesn't. Tell him it's now exclusively his job to clean the microwave. One of my biggest social pet peeves are people who refer to others by their first name when it's likely you don't know who they are. For example, a coworker saying they ate dinner with Sam and Robert on the weekend. When you ask who Sam/Robert are, they say my brothers-in-law. Like, did you really think I know your bills by name? Or long-winded discussions at work about 2 or more other people with no names or pronouns. Like, I don't know who said what when everyone is she. This right here is discussions with many teachers. 90% of the workforce is female, and you drop 3 contextually undefined shs in a row. At this point I'm just making up stories in my head and smiling/nodding until you stop talking. When I see new neighborhoods being built with houses starting at least $650K, and they have no yard and the houses are literally 3 feet apart from each other. Ah yes, affordable family first time buyer houses. In the Vancouver area, these homes start at $1 million, and you can touch both houses by holding your arms out. Loud eaters. Oh man. It's not even just loud eaters for me. If I can hear you chewing at all, it drives me fucking insane. If you are chewing like a horse and talking the entire time, I will crawl over the table and beat you to within an inch of your life. There is something wrong with me. Considering that I now work at a grocery store, people who leave refrigerated/frozen items not in the refrigerators or freezers, and sometimes people who try to start a conversation, just leave me alone and let me ring you out so you can leave. Edit. Also people who leave broken items on/near the shelves. Almost got a knife to the knee tonight. Make sure you frequently go down the laundry detergent aisle. People like to stick their unwanted raw chicken behind the containers and can't be bothered to tell anyone about it. Oh my god. When I worked in grocery, someone decided they didn't want the frozen fish they picked up, so they shoved it on a shelf behind some stacks of paper plates. Nobody noticed it, so it sat there overnight. The manager came in the next morning and the entire front half of the store reeked like fish. It had thawed and the package leaked. So there was fish juices all over the shelves and products. We had to take those shelves apart and scrub them. It took almost an entire week for the smell to completely disappear. Managers who insist on calling meetings and giving long-winded instruction about some mistake or infraction 1 or 2 people committed instead of having the balls to just go talk personally to the 1 or 2 people. It will be no shocker to you to know that studies in education have found this method of correction to be spectacularly ineffective. It's counterproductive because the people being wrongfully corrected are less likely to comply in future. Praise in public, punish in private. Walking behind slow walkers, trying to overtake fast walkers. You walk slightly faster than them. So to walk past them, you have to walk at a comically fast speed. I think I just regurgitated a comment I've seen on Askreddit before. The I swear I'm not hunting you shuffle. People who leave their dirty dishes in a communal sink, meaning other people can't use the sink. Anytime 2 drivers block the road so they can have a conversation, then get upset when you are just sitting there waiting. Like bruh, move the dick out of the way. The Romeo and Juliet trope. Exactly. Do people not realize Romeo and Juliet is a tragic story about warring families and the death of 2 teenagers? It is not a love story. I know. There are so many better Shakespearean plots that would make much better tropes. But do you see any Othello or Merchant in Venice storylines? Nope. Just Lion King and that shitty movie. Dismissed starring Cole Sprouts. People that don't use their turn signals. Fuck them. People who have every sound notification enabled on their phones, down to the fake keyboard clicking noise it makes when composing a text. I recently had to minute a Zoom meeting. At one point chimes were heard over the meeting. They went on and on for a few minutes at regular intervals. The sound squelched over people's words, making it hard to make out what they were saying. Eventually the host of the meeting said, "Oh sorry, someone is sending me a bunch of invitations for all of next year's meetings. 1. Turn off your sound notifications. 2. If you do not want to turn off the sounds, at least set Zoom to mute those notifications. 3. If you don't know how or want to do those things, at least close Outlook while you are in a Zoom meeting. 4. You are the effing host of the meeting, you of all people shouldn't be disrupting it." I recently had to do group presentation over Zoom. The group leader of the second group would apologize every time he got a notification instead of turning off his phone or turning down the volume. It happened about every 15 to 30 seconds. His group lost the most points because he kept interrupting his group members to apologize to the entire class. Multiple people talking at once. When they lick their finger to turn the page. Used to work at a bank and had a coworker who would do that counting money. Absolutely psychotic. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe for more videos.